don'tmesswithmama.com, and today I wanted to talk to you about hormones and something that I'm doing, and I wanted to share with you because I thought you might be experiencing something similar, and I wanted to show you just how easy it is to get your hormones tested at home. So first, let's talk a little bit about our hormones, okay? So I will tell you, for me personally, I was dealing with painful cramps, headaches, hormonal acne, low energy, mood swings, like everything you could possibly think of. And I personally just chalked it up to PMS. At the time, this was before I had my third son, who's now 6. And, I talked to my OBGYN about it. And, basically what they did is they suggested birth control. That was the only suggestion that they had at the time to help me with all of these symptoms. When I talked about supplements or natural remedies, they kind of were like, writing me off about it. So I had to kind of do my own research and really kind of look more into it because those symptoms didn't go away when I did go on birth control, okay? They just kind of kept going on. And I noticed that even after I had my third son, and started weaning him from breastfeeding, those symptoms kind of came back with a vengeance. And so I needed to find something that was going to help me. The other thing that was sort of exasperated at the time was I was even more of a night owl, right? Like my sleep levels were all out of whack. I'd have to sleep in the morning and I'd be super awake at night. I was more irritable, I was fatigued, and I was having those horrible hormonal breakouts again. So if you've experienced any of those symptoms, those are definitely a sign of a hormonal imbalance, okay? And that's not it. There could be other things that you may experience too, like foggy thinking. That's me, I get that all the time. Forgetfulness, insomnia, anxiety, difficulty sleeping. I'm gonna post an article right down here on 21 signs of a hormonal balance so that you can go through it and see if you're experiencing any of those symptoms too. But here's the thing is, when it comes to sort of hormones, you can do something about it. So, you could go to the doctor and get a hormone test. There are a few different tests that are available. There's a blood test and there's a saliva test. I think there may even be a urine test as well. When I went to my naturopathic doctor, they had suggested getting a saliva test. And the reason why I was really attracted to the saliva test was because I could do it at home, so in the convenience of my own home. I didn't have to be at a doctor's office. And here's the really cool thing is that the lab test, this at-home saliva lab test, will test for estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, DHEA, and cortisol. I personally suspect that with my weird sleep patterns and wanting to be up late at night and having trouble getting up in the morning may be related to cortisol. And so that's why I wanted to take this at-home test. The other cool thing is I'm gonna show you what this test looks like. This is it right here, and I'm gonna give you a link to an article that I have about it and how to get your own lab test as well. So this is it, look how easy it is. And inside the kit itself, this at-home lab test, there's 5 vials. And I'll show you. So these are kind of the vials right here. So these are 3. I've got 2 more that I've already collected saliva samples on, so those are gonna go in my fridge. But I love that there's 5 different vials. So this is what's different than a blood test. So when you take a blood test, it's kind of a snapshot in time, right? Like you go to the doctor, they take your blood, and that's it. They don't sort of measure what your hormones are like throughout the day. So let me tell you what it's like. So again, there's 5 vials in here, and there is an information sheet here, and there is some information that you sort of fill out and some directions on how to take the test, and I'll go over that in just a second. But in this lab kit, okay, they tell you sort of exactly what to do. They've got just all the great information on what to do and how to do it. And so it's really, really easy. The only things that you kind of need to prepare for it are a couple of things. Before each collection, you cannot eat anything, right? Or brush your teeth or do mouthwash. Avoid drinking anything except for water, of course. 3 to 5 minutes before the actual collection, what you'll want to do is rinse your mouth with some water for about 30 seconds. And then for the first test, so you're taking the test 4 different times during the day, okay? So you're doing a morning one between 6 and 8 a.m. You do a noon one at 11 to 1. You do an afternoon one, right? This is number 3 from 4 to 5. And then you can collect, there's a second sample in there that you would collect as well. So you're actually kind of doing 3 and 4 together. And then you do another one at midnight from 10 to 12 p.m. So again, I love that you're taking it at different times during the day so that you can really kind of see how your hormones are throughout the day. So it really is simple to do. You're not really needing to change a whole lot to get the lab test done, other than basically avoiding eating 60 minutes before, right? And of course, the first collection of the day, when you're doing the morning one, they just want you to not eat for 6 to 8 hours before then. So this is what I did this morning when I took my first test. I didn't brush my teeth, right? I just rinsed my mouth out with water and just did my first collection. And then right after that, I went to go brush my teeth and do everything. The other thing that they want you to do is 3 to 5 days before you do this test, you want to avoid hormonal supplements, just so that you can get a good sort of measurement. Now, if you're taking something under, the direction of a provider, you will want to talk to your provider about that, but that's what it says here, okay, on the lab test. So I'm just quoting the lab test itself. I am in no way a medical professional or a healthcare provider, but so I would recommend going to talk to your healthcare provider about that. But I did want to let you know just a couple of things that you may need to do to prepare. Something else that they do also recommend is the entire day of the collection. So for me, that's today. You'll want to avoid using like anti-aging creams, moisturizers, lipstick, lip balm, unless directed by your provider. And so they just want to avoid any kind of like cross-contamination of maybe skincare products that may have hormones that you may not be aware of. So just do know that. So what do I do, right? As you guys could see, I already have 2 collections that I have to do. And you basically, I know it's like saliva, right? But really what you do is you just open the cap, okay? And then you're gonna spit into this. And it probably takes like a good 5 minutes to get a collection, right? So you kind of, pull the spit in your mouth and just kind of put it in there. Really easy to do though. It was not hard at all. But you can see that I've already got 2 samples done already. I've got 3 more to do. And what you do is when you have the samples that are done, you put it in the fridge, okay? And you just wait until the last sample that you do tonight. Put them all in there. And then what I'll do tomorrow is you put everything back into the box that you got it in. And again, put it into the little baggie that it came with, okay? Put in your form. So this form on the back of it has some information on it, like my personal information. So you put that as well as all of the vials into the box, close it up, and then when you're ready to send it out, you basically put on the shipping sticker on here, right here, just like this, okay? And then you mail it off. How easy is that? So, and this just goes to UPS. So there is a specific lab that I am using, and like I said, I will post the link in here. I am really excited to find out what is going on with my hormones. It's been about 3 years, and I used this exact same test 3 years ago. So let me tell you what happened 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, I found out my progesterone was very low. The number of days in my cycle were very unpredictable, which could have played a role in my progesterone levels and my moodiness. Because my progesterone was so low, what it looked like was I was having estrogen dominance. Even though my estrogen was actually pretty normal, it's, they consider estrogen dominance as sort of the level of how much estrogen to progesterone you have. I also found out that my testosterone was within normal ranges, which is good. My DHEA and my cortisol levels were high at the time, which explains why I was always so cranky in the morning. I kind of still am. And I had very early signs of adrenal fatigue, which is something that I do want to address and see how I was doing. So I have made a lot of changes since this last test. So I'm very curious to see how I'm doing. And I'll tell you the changes that I did do. And something that I think most of us don't realize how much control we do have over our hormones. There's a number of different things. Number one is, what are you using on your skin? Just like the test told you to avoid, certain types of skin creams and lotions, look to see what you're using. Are you using non-toxic skincare and beauty care products? Does it have a lot of chemicals? Where are the chemicals from? Are they, petroleum based? What's in it? There's a really fantastic fantastic app called Think Dirty by the EWG.org, where you can actually look up the products that you're using to see what kind of ingredients are in it. So definitely look at that, like your personal care products, your skincare products. Look at your makeup. I use now a non-toxic makeup. If you're interested, let me know and comment, and I'd be happy to share that with you. But that's another big change that I've made. I've sort of ditched, like the department store brands and now use something that is more natural. The other thing that I've done is I've eliminated most of the plastics in my kitchen. So we used to use like plastic cups and like plastic dishes, like those TV tray sets that you get for little kids to eat from, right? We had all of that stuff. And since then I've ditched it. Even the food containers, right? Like to put your leftovers, we had all plastic. So I've totally made the transition. We have no plastics as far as our food containers. So I am really excited to see how hormone levels have been affected since then. Other things that we've done is I personally take natural health supplements to kind of help to regulate my cortisol and my hormones. And of course, just eating better too. What you eat and where you get your food can definitely have a direct effect on your hormone levels, right? So conventional milk, right? Conventional meat, we really try to avoid those and try to go pasture raised as much as possible, grass fed. Again, makes a huge difference, not only for my hormone health, but also for my boys too. So that's what we've done so far. I will definitely post an update here and would love to share more with you because I love sharing what works for us. And I know that hormone health for so many of you ladies is a huge concern, as it was for me. So I will post, once I get all my samples done, with the results of how it all went in a couple of weeks after I get this sent in. So if you've got other questions or want to learn more, please go ahead and comment below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Bye.